There is no shortage of affordable divers out there: sapphire crystals, automatic movements, solid bracelets. By now that spec sheet is almost expected, but every now and then a watch comes along that not only feels more refined than its price tag suggests, it also brings something you don't see too often on AliExpress, especially at this price point: a genuine original design. No homaging, no copycat cues, just a clean, well-executed diver that stands out on its own. So, is this WM diver just a pretty face, or is there a real substance under the surface? Well, we have it here. Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a closer look at the WM Automatic Diver, a watch that at the first glance checks a lot of the right boxes: sapphire crystal, solid bracelet, very decent lume, as we will see in my usual lume test, and even an original design. But as with most things, it is not all perfect, and there is one important detail you will definitely want to know about before you decide if this one is right for you. So let's take a closer look at this diver, but real quick, a bit of a housekeeping. WM Watch sent me this piece over for review, and like a few other reviewers, I get to keep it. That said, as always, you will be getting my full honest thoughts, no punches pulled, and if you want to check it out for yourself, as usual, all the product links will be down in the description of this video. It is currently priced at around $135. This is the price that I can see in the UK, which also includes VAT, UK local tax. Other parts of the world will most likely see a slightly different price, either a bit higher or hopefully lower. So right out of the box, the WM Automatic Diver makes a strong first impression. It's got that clean, slightly vintage-inspired look, but without leaning on any obvious homage designs, which is a nice change. The textured light blue dial pops immediately, giving it a fresh, standout character. Applied markers, a framed date window at 3 and matching blue bezel insert round out the package, keeping everything cohesive without feeling overdone. And under the hood, WM went with the ever-reliable Seagull NH35 movement, a proven, easy-to-service automatic workhorse that is a favorite for budget-friendly divers. It is a smart choice here, and it definitely adds a real confidence to the overall package. In terms of dimensions, we are looking at 41mm case diameter with a lug width of 20mm, which makes this a bit of a strap monster, since there is no shortage of great 20mm options out there. The case thickness comes in at 12.5mm and the lug-to-lug distance measures 47.8mm, so it stays nice and compact on the wrist without any awkward overhang. And this watch weighs 144 grams as supplied, giving it just enough heft to feel solid but not too bulky. The case design is simple but nicely refined. It is a full stainless steel construction. We've got high polished tops of the lugs paired with a satin-like horizontal brushing along the flanks that adds a bit of a contrast and texture. There are no crown guards, which gives it a more open, vintage-inspired feel. The lugs themselves are smoothly curved, sculpted to follow the wrist and help the watch sit flat, making it wear comfortably even on smaller wrists. The screw-down crown is well proportioned, signed with WM's updated logo and easy to operate. Paired with the screw-down caseback, it gives the watch a solid 100 meters of water resistance, perfectly fine for swimming, snorkeling or even a bit of skin diving. Around back, there's a display caseback showing off the NH35 movement. Specs are printed around the edge, but the layout stays clean and focused on function. So up top we've got a flat sapphire crystal that sits nearly flush with the bezel. The edge is gently rounded, giving it a smooth, clean finish with no sharp transitions. There's also an anti-reflective coating, and surprisingly, yes, it is actually pretty good. That's not always a given at this price for AliExpress watches, but this one handles reflections really well. I even took it out on one of those rare sunny days here in London, and yes, we do get a few, and it stayed perfectly legible in bright light. It's a small detail, but one that really adds to the day-to-day experience. The bezel is 120 clicks unidirectional unit with a polished grip and well-defined grooves, making it easy to turn even with the wet fingers. The insert is gloss ceramic, scratch-resistant and sharp-looking, and the markings appear to be engraved, not printed. At 12 o'clock you've got a lume triangle for added low light function. Now, while the bezel sits tightly with almost no side play, which is great, the turning resistance is quite firm. It takes more effort than usual, especially out of the box, and there's a bit of back play as well. The click action itself feels a little springy with a slightly tinny sound. It's not terrible and it might loosen up over time, but it's probably the one area where this watch falls behind some of its competition at this price point. And here is how it sounds. So, while bezel might leave a bit to be desired, the dial absolutely steals the show. It's subtle but really well done, with a light gradient that shifts from near white in the center to a soft sky blue at the edges, and just a touch of texture to add depth. Polished applied hour markers pop nicely against the dial and add a bit of visual dimension. A sloped rehaut carries blue printed minute markers, and thanks to the angle they stay readable from most viewing angles. The black hands offer excellent contrast, and the red-tipped second hand adds just a touch of character. There's a framed date window at 3 o'clock, and an applied WM logo sits neatly under the 12, and with just 2 lines of text at the bottom, the dial avoids looking cluttered. Lume performance is also quite solid. We have a bicolor setup, blue BGW9 and green C3, with even application and good brightness. It holds well over time too, as you can see here in my usual 15-minute lume test. The lume maintains very decent brightness well into the test, and legibility is pretty good. The bracelet is a solid performer. It's a bits of rice style with solid links and solid inverted end links, and while the integration with the case isn't seamless, it's smooth and secure enough for the price. Visually, the finishing is well done. The outer links have a soft satin brushing, while the inner beads of rice section is high polished, creating contrast and texture. The sides of the links are polished too, tying it all together. Though the links look like they're made of 7 parts, they're actually 3-piece links, 2 outer sections and a fused center. That fusion adds some strength but slightly limits flexibility. Still, articulation is great, and the bracelet wears comfortably with no sharp edges. The clasp is signed with the WM logo and features a double pusher release with a milled inner scissor mechanism and a pressed outer shell. Even that pressed outer shell is nicely brushed with polished chamfers on the edges. It's easy to operate, and with 6 micro-adjust holes, it's very straightforward to get a perfect fit. Link sizing uses simple pins, not fancy, but totally acceptable at this price point. On the wrist, the WM Diver wears comfortably and compact. At 41mm wide, 12.5 thick and just under 48 lug to lug, it strikes a nice balance of presence and wearability. The curved lugs help the case sit low and hug the wrist without any overhang. And the weight of 144 grams gives it a solid feel without being too heavy. And thanks to the bracelet's flexibility and 6 micro adjustments on the clasp, getting a snug fit is easy. Right, so WM Diver steps into a crowded space here. There is no shortage of affordable AliExpress divers offering sapphire, ceramic and H35 movements and solid bracelets around this price. But what helps this one to stand out is its originality. It is not a homage, it is not a homage, just a clean, well-executed design that brings something fresh to the table. The dial is a highlight, the materials are solid and the overall build quality is right there where it should be. The bezel action is the one area that somewhat lags behind. I wouldn't classify it as a deal breaker, but it's definitely something to be aware of, especially with so much competition at this price. Still, if you are after a diver with reliable specs, great wearability and a design that does not blend into the crowd, this one worth a serious look. But what do you think? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you'd like to see more watch reviews like this one, check out the rest of the videos on my channel, and I will of course leave some links on the screen as well. And if you found this one helpful and entertaining, of course give us a like, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.